Okay, let's talk about integrity checking your database. Now, before I dive into this, typically what you will do is you will have integrity checks set up using database maintenance plans that are executed by the SQL database on a regular basis. Now, in this instance, we might talk about that a little bit later, but in this instance, what I want to look at is how do I integrity check a database right now? If I think something might be wrong with it, what do I have to do to check the integrity of my database? Okay, there's a couple of commands I'm going to give you. We're going to create a new query, and the first one is going to be this. It's going to be select asterisk from msdb.dbo.suspect pages. And that's going to look for any suspect pages. Remember, data stored in pages anywhere. And so if we had anything, it would give us the database ID, the file ID, the page ID, the event type, the error count, and when we last had that particular error. Now, in this case, I don't have any. Good thing. Another tool that we can use, and this one is very, very useful, is the DBCC, which I believe stands for Database Consistency Check. Now, there's a bunch of different options you can do with this. DBCC can be used to check, to repair. You can specify what you want to check for, where you want it to check. So there's lots of different options that you can do with this. But since I've got a system that's running isolated, I'm just going to do the check DB. Now, let me back up here for a minute. I'm going to specify to use the AdventureWorks database, and that's the one that I want to check. And then I'm going to run check DB, and I'm going to execute. And this is going to give me a bunch of feedback. Now, remember, this is something you're normally not doing manually. You're doing it with a consistency checker or with a maintenance plan. So if you're doing it manually, it's because you've been getting complaints or something doesn't feel right in the database and you want to verify it. So let's skim through these real quick. So DBCC results for AdventureWorks, and it's going to give us their zeros and zero pages 4, and it's going to list a bunch of system objects. But as we get down a little bit farther, we're going to start seeing, here we go, saleslt.customer address. So here we go. There are 417 rows and 4 pages for the sales product. We have 295 rows and 101 pages, and you'll keep seeing everything in there. And as you scroll down, you can look through every one of them if you want. But this is kind of where we're going to get to the key thing. CheckDB found 0 allocation errors and 0 consistency errors in the database. Great. Now, if you actually had one, you could run DBCC CheckDB, and then it's going to have some options or arguments that go beyond that, including options for repairing the database. And it's going to tell you what's the minimum level of repair that you need. Can we just recover it, or are we going to have to potentially lose data? Typically, if you have one of those where it says, minimum level of repair, you're going to have to lose data. Normally, you're going to want to go back to backup, which is why backups are so important. But sometimes if you don't have a backup, then we have to try to recover in a way that could potentially cause us to lose data. We don't want to do that if we don't have to. Best practice is in your maintenance plans, run regular consistency checks and run regular backups. And those running automatically through the SQL Server agent will hopefully keep you on top of any potential problems. And if you do have a problem and you have to run this and it says, hey, I can repair it, but you're going to lose data, then we can go back to backup to do it. Okay, there you go. A couple of quick tools to manually and quickly check the consistency of your database. Now, before I close out, I did say manually and quickly. Quickly is a relative term. So if you have a really large database and you're trying to do this during production time, it may negatively impact your performance. Now, depending on your what's going on, that might be worthwhile to negatively impact performance if we can find some corruption and fix it. But just something to be aware of is if you are on a large database that is being heavily used, quick might be a relative term. Okay, so to wrap this up, a couple of things we can use for integrity checking. But as much as possible, we want to do these in maintenance plans so they happen automatically and we don't have to do it manually.